Hello, my name is Denise Bittler, and I'm the owner of Resume Interview Success and a co-founder of the Career Experts Group. As part of the incredible and comprehensive information provided monthly by the Career Experts Group in our Your Career, Your Future newsletter, we also interview various career, industry, and subject matter experts. We also create informational and how-to videos to help you manage and advance your career. Today, I will be showing you the prompts to use in ChatGPT to create a basic resume that is customized to your specific accomplishments and achievements. I'll also show you a resume based on the same accomplishments and achievements, but written by me, a certified master resume writer. So let's look at the ChatGPT screen. All right, so with ChatGPT, we will be entering a job description. So we have a client here who is applying to an assistant COO position. So the first thing we want to do, if you're creating this resume from scratch, is look at the job description for the type of title that you're looking to apply to, and ask ChatGPT to ask you questions about your career using this job description. So it's a great way to get ideas on what things you should be considering when you're crafting your bullets for your resume. So I'm going to copy and paste here. So we've asked ChatGPT, using this job description, ask me questions about my career, and then we've added the job description. So now we just click enter, and ChatGPT goes to work. It does some web search results, and now it will take the job description. Now it's going to start crafting some questions. Can you describe your experience in implementing the execution of strategy and day-to-day back office operations? So it goes through and it will create a list of questions to really get you thinking about what have you done in the different roles that you've had. So the next step is, after you use these questions as really prompt ideas, now you will create kind of a basic resume. So you'll have your name, your contact information, and then you'll have, the current company, the location, the dates of service, the title, and then some just brief bullets with hopefully quantifiables or accomplishments related to the type of ideas or questions that ChatGPT created for the job posting that you are looking to apply to. So I'm going to copy and paste what I've created here, and I'll show you what I came up with here. So based on the questions we went through, so we've got this fictitious client, Dr. Pat Jones, lives anywhere USA, the email, the phone number, the LinkedIn URL. Their current role is at ABC Medical Clinic in Tampa. They've been there since February 2018. Their title is Vice President Revenue Operations. They have 10 direct reports, 160 indirect reports. And then based on the prompt questions from ChatGPT, we started writing down some accomplishments. Eliminated 12,000 man hours in 6 months and reducing error rate. All right, so it goes through, and then it goes to the next most recent job. Again, title, dates, everything, and then any ideas or accomplishments that you can remember are written down. Now, the problem here is, yes, there's quantifiables, which is wonderful, and we're showing results, but we're not explaining how. We're not providing context with it. So how do you figure out what type of information you should be including? Well, this again is where ChatGPT can come in handy. And, excuse me. So ChatGPT is going to take all that information that we just put in it is going to ask some questions, all right? Basically saying, how did you achieve these results? All right, because again, recruiters, hiring managers don't just want to know what you did, they want to know how you did it. All right, so these are questions that ChatGPT has come up with based on the resume, the basic resume information that I entered. So now it's asked a bunch of questions. So you want to go through these questions for each of the bullets on your resume and answer them. So what I've done is I've now taken all these questions and for different roles and added additional information, kind of the how or what strategy or what. So we've added, how did you eliminate this? Well, put in robotic process automation. What strategies did you implement to increase overall collections? Implemented KPI dashboards. And so added the how or the what. All right, so now let's see what it now comes up with. So we want to tell it to integrate these answers, okay? Integrate these answers that we just did, all right, into our resume. Okay. Now, so now it's adding kind of the how, all right, for each of the roles at each of the sites. Okay. One thing I do want to point out when you look at these bullets is a lot of them are long and possibly too long. So you want to be very aware of that. All right. So now basically it has taken all of the information for each of the sites. So now we can copy this, all of these bullets, and we can change where I'm sharing here. We can now add this to a resume. Okay. So we've got ABC Clinic, we've got XYZ Healthcare, but they're bullets. Okay. So let's see if we can copy this information and say, we'll see if this works. Add this information to this resume. And let's go pull the resume that it completed that we put in here that had all the information. It had the name and the contact information. And so let's see if it's smart enough to add these in and see what happens. Okay, so let's scroll down and see what ChatGPT is doing. All right, so we've got the name, we've got the experience. All right, and look, it added them in. And I think I'm sharing the wrong screen. Oh, my apologies. Let me go back here. All right, so what I did, because ChatGPT only gave us these bullets and it didn't give us the rest of the resume, and it put it in like ABC format. What we did was we copied and highlighted these answers, okay, all these answers, and then created a new query, all right, that said, add this information, which just created, to this resume. And I copied the original resume, the basic one that we did up here. All right. So this original basic one we did based on the original questions, took this, added it to the prompt. So our prompt now said, add this information to this resume. We copied and pasted the resume from the top. And our hope is that it is now going to take kind of the how and the why answers that we crafted and add them to the appropriate bullets. So let's see what it came up with. So we've got our heading, our headline information, we've got experience. So we originally had eliminated 12,000 man hours in 6 months, reduced error rate to 0 with no how. Here now we have by implementing robotic process automation solution. So now it's integrated the how. Okay, so let's take this experience and let's add it to our resume. Okay, so now we're going to go back. All right, so we're going to add this now to the resume that we're creating. Okay, again, there's no bullets. You have to do bullets. You have to worry about your thing. You're going to have to get rid of these little notes that ChatGPT has here. But again, it's not formatted. So you're going to have to do that, the formatting as well. All right. Now, we really don't want just the name and then experience. What we really want is a value proposition statement or headline. So let's go back to ChatGPT. All right. Let's go back to ChatGPT and type in, using the information in the final resume, write a value proposition headline for my resume. So let's see what it comes up with. Results-driven revenue cycle operations leader with a track record of eliminating man hours, reducing errors, and driving significant revenue growth. Okay, not bad, not bad. We can do it as all caps. We can do it. So now we're going to go back to the resume. We'll add it to the resume. All right, and we can decide whether we're going to call it a statement or whether we're going to make it all caps. It's, that's something that you can do. For now, let's just make it all caps so that it's a value proposition headline. All right, so let's change these all to caps. Would help if I could actually type. Okay. All right. Reducing errors and driving significant, oh my goodness, sorry. Significant financial growth. Now, that's great. We have a value proposition headline. Would it help if we had maybe a couple bullets at the front that really demonstrated this value proposition headline? So let's go back to ChatGPT and let's try typing in, using the information in the final resume, write 3 bullets that demonstrate the value proposition headline. So let's see what it does. Okay. It's taking some time to think on this one. All right, these are way too long, just so you know that. All right, so what we can do, so let's just pull this, let's copy this, pull it into the resume just to see how long it looks, if it's too much information. Okay, so now we can add these bullets. Okay, again, this is a lot of information. You definitely would want to shorten these, okay? But again, now you've got this resume. We're still missing, bear with me here, we are still missing the education and quotes and different things like that, the adjunct professorship. So we're going to have to pull those in. Not sure why why ChatGPT does not pull that when it creates this, but so, all right, so now we've got these in here. You got to check because some of the bullets don't have all the information. You need to make sure that it's truly taking your quantifiables, because sometimes ChatGPT will make things up if it just to please you, if it feels like it's missing information. All right, so now we've got this resume by ChatGPT, which again, you would need to format, you need to do your bullets, you need to really try and make it very succinct, impactful. All right, so let's just look at some of these bullets. You know, oversaw 50 million with 20% annual growth targets, right? Okay, some of them include the how, some of them don't. So that's kind of an issue that you're going to see with the ChatGPT created resume. So now let me share a resume, same exact information, same content, same accomplishments, right? But however, I created this manually, right? As you can see, the ChatGPT resume, my apologies, ChatGPT resume is very plain, all right? No, there's nothing to draw a reader's eye. The information's just kind of there. It's not branded. There's no color, there's no specific font style that speaks to a person's brand. ChatGPT also doesn't necessarily follow best practice of parallel structure. Parallel structure is that pretty much all your bullets start the same. They either all start with verbs or all start with adjectives or all start with nouns. Some of theirs are adverbs, some of them are verbs, some of them are nouns. When you look at this, everything is written in the first person. It's assumed first person. And the way you do that is by starting your bullets with a verb. I slashed, I accelerated. So that's assume the word I. So there's another issue. Again, ChatGPT doesn't do bolding and whatnot, which you're going to have to do. ChatGPT also can't create visuals. Like in this case, this is a detailed chart. I mean, very detailed. And it's there for the human reader. It's there to wow the human reader. All right. The ChatGPT resume doesn't contain call out boxes for quotes. Again, that's something that a human needs to do. The other thing is the ChatGPT doesn't follow the best practice of what we call writing tight. All right. It's really using the least amount of words to effectively convey a message. All right. And then it also is putting it onto a third page, which is best practices no more than 2 pages. So while ChatGPT may be very helpful in crafting kind of the bones, we'll say, of your resume, a lot of it depends on, you know, using the correct prompts, as well as customizing it, making sure it's customized for you, making sure that it is quantifiables, make sure that it's visually appealing to the human reader. Just remember, you're writing it for ATS and the human reader, not just one or the other. So again, if you think about it, again, if you were the hiring manager, which would be more impactful or would make you want to read more, to engage and interact with the person? A manually created that uses formatting and different things to really draw a reader's eye, or the basic content, in some cases too long, things like that. So again, if you were the hiring manager, which one would impress you more? So just to wrap things up, some reminders. So the ChatGPT prompts and action steps that I used. For the first step, ChatGPT prompt. Using this job description, ask me questions about my career, and then paste the job description and hit enter. Using the ChatGPT generated questions as your guide, you want to create a base resume in a Word document. So your name and contact information, all your jobs, starting with the most recent, the company name, location, dates of service, title, followed by bullets. Again, preferably quantifiables and achievements if possible. And then any education or other applicable sections, licenses, honors, things like that. So once you've created that in Word, now you go back to ChatGPT and you enter a prompt. Write a professional resume for a finance and operations executive using all of the following information, and then copy and paste that base resume that you created and hit enter. Once ChatGPT creates that, then you're going to go to a second prompt, another prompt, ChatGPT prompt, ask me questions about each of the bullets on the resume to identify how each result was achieved, and then hit enter. You want to review the questions created by ChatGPT and identify kind of the how, the why, etc. for each of those accomplishment bullets, right? You can do them in a separate Word document, copy and paste the questions, and then your answers. Go back to ChatGPT, enter a prompt of integrate the answers to the questions into the resume. And this is where you'll also then paste the ChatGPT questions, the questions provided by ChatGPT with your answers, and then hit enter. All right. Once ChatGPT redoes the experience section, integrating those kind of what, why, when, how, where for your bullets, you're going to copy and paste that, replace the experience section in that base resume you created in Word with this newly created experience section from ChatGPT after all these prompts. All right. So now you've got an adjusted resume. So go back to ChatGPT and add a prompt. Using the information in the final resume, write a value proposition headline for my resume, hit enter. Once it produces that, you can add that to the resume under your name and contact information. Then do another prompt using the information in the final resume, write 3 bullets that demonstrate the value proposition headline, hit enter, shorten those bullets because they're way too long, and add to the resume under the value proposition headline. So just some reminders: confirm the accuracy of all information, check your grammar and spelling, adjust the bullets for parallel structure, all, so that they're all the same way. Use impactful verbs. Okay, excuse me, sorry. Use impactful verbs, spearheaded instead of led. Format the resume using current best practices. Add your personal branding, add quotes, charts, etc., if they would add value. All right. So that is the end of the presentation. If you would like to see additional videos we've created, reference resource documents that we've created, sign up for our monthly newsletter. You can go to the website at www.careerexperts.com. There you can sign up for the newsletter. You can read prior newsletters. You can ask the experts. So thank you all so much for sharing your time with me, and I hope you have found this very helpful.